They told me pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, to lay before the king, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, when we on my drum. He smiled at me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, me and my
Shitter's full.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. All right. Good morning.
Breaking news this morning. I hope you guys have heard.
I'm just a little bit perturbed.
Breaking news. Good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching the morning show with me and Zack Smith. No, I'm just kidding. He's not available in the morning, so we're going to have BVD on. He'll be joining us soon. Breaking news, though. I don't know how many of you have heard. Breaking news regarding the Big Ten title game. The Big Ten has decided, of course, that Ohio State is playing Northwestern in the Big Ten title game. But Ohio State is going to be declared Big Ten champion regardless of the outcome of the game. It's the only fair thing to do, according to Commissioner Kevin Warren. They're going to let Northwestern play, but Ohio State has been declared Big Ten champion regardless of the outcome of the game. So this is unbelievable, but not surprising. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yeah, good morning. This is Indiana co-chairman of Player Developmentary Championship League.
All right. What can we do for you?
I'd like to know why all the Ohio State bias. Can anyone tell me? Is it because they're undefeated? Is it because they're good? Is it because they're Ohio State? Is it because they're the Ohio State?
I think it's because they're the best team in the Big Ten.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
You know what's not fair? Indiana should have been given an opportunity to play Ohio State and prove they were better. That would have been fair.
Yeah, that would have been real fair. But that wouldn't have made any sense, though.
Of course, they did play.
Oh, they did, and that's right. Ohio State beat the shit out of them.
No, well, beat them by 7.
Yeah. Was it really 7?
Well, it was like 42 to 17 or something like that, and or
Right.
40.
Indiana
But
got some
Indiana scored,
garbage.
yeah, and ended up being 42-35. But I mean, Indiana is a good team. I mean,
Mhm.
but they're on their backup quarterback now. It would probably be a little worse now than it
I
was the
guess,
first time.
I mean, technically, I guess it's not Ohio State's fault that Michigan, whoever else, the other games that they've missed this year.
I mean, here's the deal. It's it's not that nobody thinks Ohio State doesn't deserve to be in the Big Ten title game. They're clearly the best team in the Big Ten. So, and even if Ohio State played this weekend and lost, they would still be in the Big Ten title game. So, I get it, but it's just the way it looks is the problem.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
just the
it's
way it
definitely
looks.
not a good look.
It's like Michigan canceling the Ohio State game. We all really know that Michigan is ate up with coronavirus, and if there was a way they could play this game, we know that. But it's just it's a lot more fun to just say, "Oh, look at Michigan scared to play Ohio State." It's a lot more fun to say, "Well, look at this. Ohio State or the Big Ten has been in the rules, bending over backwards for Ohio State." And they're breaking the rules. The rules, the rules they themselves set 6 weeks ago. But I get why they're doing it, and it doesn't.
Well, they've made a season out of breaking their own rules.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
why
not
should
surprised.
anybody be surprised by this?
Yeah, I mean, I still think Kevin Warren should get fired just because the optics of what has gone on in the Big Ten over the last 6 months is just terrible. It just looks bad.
But clearly they don't care. I mean, if
I
they
don't know.
care, they wouldn't be doing it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, what's going to happen? Oh well, we're not going to allow the Big Ten to be in college football anymore. They're breaking their own rules. No,
Right.
next year everybody forget all about this shit.
I mean, there's nobody in charge of college football. You know who's in charge of the Big Ten? The Big
Big
Ten.
Ten.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
can do whatever the hell they want, just like the SEC can.
Well, I mean, the SEC would be doing the same thing if this was Alabama or whoever.
I'm pretty sure they would, yeah. I mean, we're clowning on the Big Ten for showing favoritism to Ohio State, but what's the biggest complaint you hear about the SEC, whether it's the officials, the scheduling, whatever? What do you hear constantly, all the time?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they just setting Alabama up again.
Yeah.
Look at them. Here they go. And I don't believe any of that about the SEC. So, who knows? I don't know what they're doing. But I do think Kevin Warren should find himself out of a job at the end of the year. I do think
Is there
that.
anybody out there, honestly, that doesn't think Ohio State's one of the 4 best teams in the country?
No,
I mean,
there's nobody that thinks that.
there
There's a
can't
few
be.
racist Georgia fans that pretend to think that because they can't stand the idea of Justin Fields. So, but other than that, no. Nobody thinks
that's-
Ohio State isn't one of the best 4 teams.
I agree. And what are you gonna do?
Yeah, nothing you can do.
Talk about it. That's about it.
I mean, there's only two possible scenarios. 1 or 3, I guess. Ohio State gets in the playoffs, loses, and then people will go, "See,
Oh yeah.
we told you
Yeah,
they didn't
see?
deserve to be in," which is ridiculous. 2 teams have to lose in the first round. It doesn't mean they always didn't deserve to be in there. 2 teams have to lose. The second scenario, they get in and win. People are going to say, "Well, it doesn't matter. They only played 5 games. Everybody else played 10. Everyone else was twice as beat up as Ohio State, so this is a fake title." Or the third scenario is that they just don't get into playoffs.
I think anybody not named Alabama that wins the title this year, it's going to be a fake title or
Yeah.
an asterisk beside it.
Yeah. Well, and Alabama doesn't care if it's fake or not.
Well, of course not.
Half the titles they have are fake. I don't think it's a fake title.
It's a title.
Are there any
I mean,
teams that didn't? Are
it
there any
is what
teams
it
in
is.
America that weren't affected by coronavirus? No. So it's been, college football is never fair. It's never an equal playing field in college football. There's 130 teams. It's impossible for everybody to play everybody. There's only 4 playoff teams, but there's 5 conferences. The group of 5s never get in, so you never really know what they would do. So college football is not fair in a normal season. So to say that, well, this team played 7 games and this team played 9, and that's not right, or this team did this and the other team had to do that, and no non-con game, whatever. It's never fair. Maybe it's a little bit less fair this year than normal, but it's never. College football is never on an equal playing field, and it never will be.
I tell you who wishes they had played 8 or 9 games by now.
Who?
Ohio State.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
Guarantee you, those kids would love to have played 8, 9, or 10 games right now. They'd love to be getting ready to beat the shit out of Michigan again.
Right.
But they have no control over that. So all they can do is do what is put before them. And then we can hate on them, or whoever can hate on them. But at the end of the day, if 3 games from now for them, they're 4 games, whatever, they're declared national champion. You think they give a shit? Nope.
No. I've said since the summer, the fans of whatever team wins aren't going to care about it being a coronavirus season. But everyone else is going to say, well, it's a Corona title. That was always the way it was going to be. So
there won't be an asterisk on the trophy that's handed out to whoever.
There won't.
It won't be made of lesser ingredients or materials.
Nope.
And whoever hands it out to them that night won't say, and ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 coronavirus champion, blah, blah, blah. And 20 years from now, none of us will remember anyway or care.
Right. Ohio State has played the softest schedule. How many top 10 teams has Ohio State played, BVD?
No idea. 1, 2, none.
1, I believe. How many has Alabama played?
I want to go with 0. At the current.
Played 1, according to the playoff poll, I believe. Right? No, 2. Texas A&M and Georgia. Right?
Yeah. How could I forget about Georgia? Damn it. And Texas A&M.
They played Texas A&M, Georgia. Here's who else. Let's see who else Alabama has played. Well, they played Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
That difficult?
There's a team on fire. Fire's a relative term, I guess. There's a team not on the dumpster fire.
They played a 500 Ole Miss team.
Who gave them fits?
Who almost beat them.
Yeah. Played a great Tennessee team.
Yeah. Played a 2-win Tennessee team.
Who can believe they're not in the top 10?
Yeah.
Mm.
They didn't play a 0-win Vandy team, did they? No way they played a 0-win Vandy team. Alabama's schedule is brutal. Right?
I bet if they did play them, they won. Just guessing, of course.
Oh, they played Mississippi State. Is that a good team?
They were great after one game.
They're a 2-win team,
weren't they? Remember how great they were back after the first game?
Barely.
Oh man, this Mike Leach team.
They played LSU though. LSU's good. LSU's good every year.
Yeah, beat the defending champs.
Yeah,
beat the proverbial brakes off of them.
That has to count for something.
Yeah, couldn't quite beat the transmission off of them, but
Ohio State would get killed by LSU.
Oh, clearly.
Ohio State's schedule is the weakest in America, according to this Bama fan here. They played Kentucky. That matters.
There's another great team that beat Tennessee.
No, I'm not saying Alabama's the best team. Clearly they are. You know how I know that?
Because they are.
Because I watched them play.
Oh, the eye test.
I don't need to see Alabama play the 85 Bears to find out if Alabama's any good or not.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be
But,
fair
of
to
course,
the 85 Bears.
I know a little bit about football.
You know?
Yeah. Some
Would it?
people don't. The only way they can tell a team is good is to read a box score where that team plays another team that they think is good. But
Or if they have a common opponent.
Yeah.
Which they don't. So clearly that favors the team that's played more games.
right.
What was
I
well,
don't think
I guess
Alabama is beatable.
Indiana.
Alabama is good, but they're beatable. I disagree. I do not think they're beatable. Not this year.
If Alabama plays at the top of their game
Everyone else is beatable, though. Somebody else
and
said
Ohio State plays at the top of their game,
Bama.
chances are Bama's still 2 touchdowns better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate Alabama. So
I think everyone else is beatable.
is Ohio State beatable by anybody other than Bama?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it would be. I mean, if you look at like the Ohio State Clemson game last year, if Ohio State and Clemson were to play again this year, I would expect a pretty similar game, pretty close. I don't know what the spread on a game like that would be, but there's no way it would be more than 5 points. I don't think. I think that would be a pretty close game. The only team I think would be the only potential playoff team that I think would be a significant underdog, no matter who they played, is Texas A&M. I think they would be a double-digit underdog easily against Alabama. I think they would probably be somewhere around 10 to 14-point underdog against Clemson or Notre Dame, and probably about the same against Ohio State.
Is Notre Dame quietly flying below the national championship radar?
Maybe a little. Yeah, you know who they are, really, kinda. They're Georgia 2017. They're a really good team.
Needing a quarterback.
They're not. Yeah, they're not gonna. I mean, and Ian Book I think is better than Fromm, but he's not.
He just doesn't blow your socks off.
He's not
though.
Justin Fields. He's not Trevor Lawrence. He's not Mac Jones. He's not Kyle Trask. He's not even Kellen Mond. He's more consistent than Kellen Mond, so that's a positive for him. But when Kellen Mond plays his best, he's better than Ian Book. The problem with Kellen Mond is getting him to play his best, you know. And he did play his best the majority of this season, so give him some credit. But after that long layoff they haven't looked great since coming back.
Well, he's had
4 of Ohio State's opponents have 2 wins.
9 years to polish his game.
Well,
Ain't going to get
the
another
Big
one if he
Ten
wants
is,
it.
you have to remember the Big Ten has played half as many games as the SEC. So 2 of your opponents have 2 wins, and they've played 9 games. Ohio State's opponents who have 2 wins have only played 4. I'm not trying to convince anybody Ohio State has a tough schedule, but the idea that Ohio State is no good because the whole they haven't played anybody thing is absolutely ridiculous. Indiana and Texas A&M would be probably a good game.
Who you got in that one?
I would probably
Again.
take Texas A&M,
Would probably depend on Mond.
especially now with Indiana down to their backup quarterback.
Wow. Still can't believe we're talking about Indiana.
What does it matter that Ohio State has only played 1 team with a winning record? Alabama's played Ohio State's played 5 games. 2 of them have a winning record. That's 40%. Alabama's played 9 games. 3 of them have a winning record. That's 33%. Maybe 4. So it's about the same.
So Ohio State has nobody this weekend.
Right.
Are they still trying? Surely not this late in the week. They're not still trying to pick up an opponent.
They were never trying.
Okay.
They can't. Who would they pick up? The Big Ten,
I don't know.
they're like the
I
SEC.
don't know.
They
You-
can't play non-con games.
Okay, there's been all this talk, though. Of course, it's among fans, but they're trying to pick up Oregon, they're trying to pick up Texas A&M, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
it was. I mean, it was never going to happen. I mean, all three of those
Yeah.
conferences people were talking about have rules against playing non-con games.
Well, let's forget this is the Big Ten we're talking about here.
Well, it's
They
the Big
would be
Ten
willing-
and
they-
the
they-
SEC and the Pac-12, though. I
Right.
mean,
Big Ten would be willing to change their rules, obviously, but would the SEC?
I mean, I don't think I don't think there was any benefit to any of those teams playing that game, with the exception of maybe Texas A. Texas A&M is the only team I think that could have benefited from that, because they could have eliminated their main hurdle to making the playoffs, which I think is Ohio State. Because I think Texas A&M is going to finish 5th and Ohio State's going to finish 4th. That's what I think. I think it's going to be Alabama 1, Clemson 2. Well, you know what? They might put Ohio State 3 to keep. But I think what it should be after the conference championship, here, I think Alabama's going to beat Florida. That puts them in the number 1 team in the final playoff poll. I think Clemson's going to beat Notre Dame. I think that should put Clemson 2 and Notre Dame 3, but I don't think they're going to do that, because then that would be the 3rd time Notre Dame and Clemson have played. I think Ohio State's going to beat Northwestern, so I think they'll probably put Ohio State 3rd. You know what? They might still put Ohio State. See, this is the problem. They probably should put Ohio State 4th, but are they going to do that and then make Clemson and Notre Dame play a 3rd time? I don't know. Maybe.
The rubber match.
Yeah.
Well,
they may move Ohio State a spot higher than they really think Ohio State should be. They may move Ohio State to 3.
So Clemson
just to
beats
prevent Clemson and Notre Dame from playing. Yeah, I think Clemson beats Notre Dame. Yeah, but I think they both get into playoffs.
Right. So they beat Notre Dame. They're 1 up, 1 down against each other this year.
Yeah.
They're still, in most people's opinion, 2 of the 4 best teams in the country. Agreed?
Yep.
Regardless of what happens anywhere else. Texas A&M beats Tennessee by 50. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a playoff year, COVID or not, if somebody wasn't pissed off that they didn't make the playoff. So that's just a part of the game. Somebody's always going to be screwed, in their opinion.
Right.
So the answer to that is don't get beat by Alabama by whatever. How bad did Alabama?
I mean,
beat
you
them?
know, something people need to realize. First of all, there's not a bigger SEC homer on the planet than Uncle Lou. I pull for Florida every time they play a non-con game, okay? And I hate Florida.
Yeah.
There's people that tell me all the time, some of these same people that are in here knocking Ohio State and Clemson, saying their schedule is no good, are the same people that get on to me for being an SEC homer. What are you doing? Let me explain something. The SEC right now is hot doo-doo. Okay? We have some of the worst teams in America.
Facts.
Vandy, Tennessee, South Carolina, both Mississippi schools, Arkansas. All of those teams would finish in the bottom half of every Power 5 conference in America. Okay? Every one of them. We've got some really bad teams right now in the SEC. Now's not the time to be pretending that the SEC, everybody in the SEC has the hardest schedule ever, and everyone else's schedule is a cakewalk. Now's not the time to be doing that. A couple of years ago, different story. Okay, there's plenty of Pac-12 teams that would beat 5 or 6 SEC teams. I promise you.
1 or 2 anyway.
I mean, Southern Cal, Colorado, Utah, Oregon, Washington, these teams would beat Tennessee, Vandy, South Carolina, both Mississippi schools, Arkansas. Some of them would beat Auburn.
Arkansas's
Oh, LSU. Let's not leave out LSU. So I'm an SEC homer, but this idea that somehow everybody in the SEC plays a ridiculously tough schedule and everyone else's schedule is no good.
he basically got
It's
four
just
good
not
teams in
true.
the SEC, right?
Bama, Florida, Texas A&M, and Georgia. Who is scared to play anyone else in the SEC? I mean, there's four good teams now those are four really good teams. Those are four top 10 teams. SEC is still the best conference. But the idea that means every other conference is terrible, this year especially, is just not true. What would North Carolina's record be if they played all 14 SEC teams?
Oh, Jesus.
10-4, 9-5, the worst.
Yeah, might be a bad example of a team to pick the way they played this year, but yeah, probably 10-4, 9-5. Well, the top four SEC teams, I think, would be North Carolina.
Yeah,
maybe rather handily. Yeah, I'd say 9-5.
Yeah.
8-6. There's a couple of the other 10 teams I think that could beat. Auburn could beat North Carolina, I think. A few weeks ago, I would have said LSU, depending on which LSU team showed up.
Tyler, Georgia lost to South Carolina last year. Does that mean they would have went 500 in the ACC? So, yeah, we know North Carolina lost to FSU and Virginia. Georgia lost to South Carolina last year. And I mean, I purposely picked a middle-of-the-road ACC team to prove the point.
Yeah, is Miami
Miami would lose to Alabama, Florida,
one
Georgia,
of the four best teams right now?
Texas A&M. And then if they had to play all other 10 teams, they'd lose another couple of games. Just any random two, just pick them.
Get out of here, Pinecone. You don't even believe that. 13-1. Pinecone done fell out of the pine tree and hit his pine cone.
No, the SEC has gotten worse this year. Now, maybe it's because of coronavirus. Maybe it's because of no non-con games. But I don't know that you can find a year where the SEC has had this many there's 6 Vanderbilts in the SEC right now.
Jesus.
It's the day after the conference championship games, Ballard. Oh, which reminds me, when I was talking about signing day the other day, I kept saying it was Friday. The signing period ends on Friday. So the signing day stream will be next Wednesday. The signing day starts next Wednesday. So me and BVD will be here from 8 to 10 on Wednesday, and then BVD, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to stay on another couple hours after that. What you do is up to you, but most everybody announces or signs or sends their paperwork or whatever in by 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I usually go from like 8 to 12 or 1 on signing day. That's what I'm doing on Wednesday. I'm not going to do it on Friday. Most everybody will have committed by then. Or signed by then, I mean. So the signing day show will be Wednesday, not Friday. When I looked it up, the date that came up that I saw was the last day. It's a 3-day period. Wednesday through Friday, but most everybody will send their paperwork in Wednesday morning. And for those that don't know or maybe haven't paid attention the last couple of years since they made this early signing day, but I think this is the 3rd year they've had early signing period. The first year, like 70% of the top 300 players sent their paperwork in during the early signing period. Last year, it was like 85% of the top 300 players sent their paperwork in during early signing period. This year, it'll probably be more than that. So that's when the signing day in February now is boring, really. There's not very many players left to sign. Most
Just a
all the
handful, yeah.
action starts, or most all the action happens during the early signing period now. Yeah, LSU, what a joke. What an absolute joke. Now, unfortunately, just like always, I don't have any faith in the NCAA to step in and do the right thing here. But the idea that LSU is, what, a 3-win team? Is that right?
I think
Have
that's
they
right,
even
3
won
and
that?
5. Yeah,
What
they're
is
3 and
LSU?
5. 3
The
and
fact
5.
that a 3-win team comes out with 1 game left and goes, yeah, we screwed up, so we're going to self-impose a bowl ban this year. What a joke. What a joke. And I hope the NCAA doesn't accept that. That is I can't believe they had the balls to do that.
What did they do?
Well, they're in all kinds of trouble, from basketball to football, paying players, embezzlement, the Odell Beckham stuff, all that. I mean, there's a whole sexual assault covered up. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on there. And the idea that they would come out and say, well, yeah, we got caught, so we're going to self-impose a bowl ban this year, a year where they've won 3 games and aren't going to a bowl, is I can't believe they had the balls to even do that. I can't believe that. What a joke. And I hope the NCAA doesn't go, okay, that's good enough. That's insane.
They probably will, just because.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have any faith or trust in the NCAA to do anything, but that's ridiculous. I mean, there's I don't know. That's I mean, that's spitting in the face of the NCAA. That's daring them to do something.
Yeah.
We're going to self-impose a bowl ban this year when we have 3 wins and aren't going to a bowl anyway. What a joke.
They should self-impose a bowl ban for the next 2 years. What do you think? I mean, I know they're not going to do that, but.
Well, yeah, if they think they deserve a bowl ban, it should be in a year when they go to a bowl. Or it's even one thing if you announce it at the beginning of the season. You can't announce that at the end of the season when you know you're not even going to a bowl. If you come out in August and say, okay, we got caught with our hand in the cookie jar, so we're gonna impose a bowl ban this year. Okay, that's one thing, because in theory, you don't know, the team could win 8 games, 10, whatever, you don't know. So okay. But you're sitting here at the end of the year with 3 wins talking about, don't worry, we'll handle it. We're gonna impose a bowl ban this year. Oh my, what a joke. What a joke.
It's kind of like deeming a player ineligible that's opted out.
Yeah, right. Right. Or you got some guy that hasn't played all year, and you say, well, we're going to suspend him for the remainder of the year.
Yeah.
Hell, he's been suspended all year. The guy that he played. What a joke this is. What a joke. Waikiki, thank you for the super chat. He says, the SEC will suffer this year with LSU's bowl ban. Yeah, right. Pinecone, thank you for the super chat. Iowa State, 4th team in the playoffs. I called it. I'll take that bet, Pinecone. What are we betting?
Bet a helmet, because Pinecone's clearly bumped his head with that 13-1 comment a minute.
I could always use another mini helmet.
No, I mean, he needs one to wear in public.
Well.
Love you, Pinecone, but 13-1, you don't believe that, do you? You really don't believe that. I mean, I guess he does. Some pretty since Miami's back now, they're the backest of the 3 teams that are back. Well, hell, why would Pinecone? Why would Miami go 13-1? Who would beat them? Alabama? Get out of here.
I forgot to post a PayPal link this morning, so there it is down there for anybody who wants to support the show. That's a good way to do it. Y'all need to start sending some pictures in. Not very many pictures have come in, BVD.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how's that going?
It's not going good.
That's a tough one. I was thinking about that.
The ones that have come in are great.
But
the ones that have come in are great, but it's not. It's less than 5.
Oh, okay.
So I know some of y'all have now. Not everybody. Maybe a lot of people don't have
maybe
ugly
after
sweaters.
this weekend. Maybe after this
Yeah,
weekend.
I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't have ugly sweaters. I don't know. But I know some of you have some terrible looking Christmas decorations out front of your house. I know some of you do.
Yeah, get out and drive up and down any street USA this time of year. You're gonna see some tacky ass. Like I was coming home last night from my aunt's house, or well, whatever. I was coming home from there last night, and this one house has one bush outside of its yard, and it looks like they just took a string of colored lights and just threw them at the bush and plugged them in. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, and see, and some of those people are listening right now. See,
Did they enter
did
you get that entry?
No, but send in. We're giving $100 away next Friday. Okay, tackiest Christmas decorations, worst Christmas decorations, an ugly Christmas sweater, something, whatever, something like that. Send your pictures to crazyuncle.lou@gmail.com. Next Friday, I'm going to put up a slideshow of all the people that sent the pictures in, and then we'll vote on the worst one. And that person will get $100 PayPal, and they can take that $100 and go buy some decent decorations, or they can just buy themselves something, or they can buy a Christmas present for somebody else, or they can buy their Christmas dinner, or whatever they want to do.
Whatever.
$100. Cash sent to your PayPal.
You could even take that $100 and give it to Lou for Christmas.
You could do that.
It's your choice.
You could do that.
Or you could
Rattlehead
take
did
it-
that in the summer, remember?
Yeah, he's long since given that $100 back.
Yeah.
Rattlehead won amped up last night. Congratulations to Rattlehead. He finally got him an amped up trophy.
Shout out to Rattlehead. So y'all take your pictures and send them in. crazyuncle.lou@gmail.com. Send them to my email. Put Christmas in the title, in the subject of the email, something with Christmas decorations, Christmas or whatever. Just make sure the word Christmas is in the subject line of the email. That'll help me find it. But I know some of you have some terrible looking decorations. I know you do. I know you do. Celine Driver has hit the PayPal link this morning. Thank you, sir. Let's see what he has to say. You know he's good people. He says, a little Hanukkah gelt for you both for the first night of Hanukkah tonight at sunset. Have a good morning and go Gators. Beat them corn dogs. Hanukkah gelt. What is that, BBD? I know what Hanukkah is. Don't know what,
me.
I don't know what
What
gelt
Hanukkah
is.
gelt is.
Let's look up Hanukkah gelt. See what Google tells us.
If we see a picture of Celine Driver, I'm going to need further explanation. I don't know about you.
Oh, money.
Gelt.
Gelt
Okay.
is money.
Okay. Not guilt.
Money given as a present during the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you for that gelt, Celine Driver. Appreciate that. I love gelt.
So you can feel guilty today
Yes.
about yourself,
Yes.
and that's a good thing.
I see what you did there. BVD, you got some sleep last night, didn't you? I can tell.
And not really.
No,
I
you
mean,
did. I can tell. BVD, we've been doing this for a year. I can tell. It's okay. It's okay to say you got some sleep. It's okay.
I got a few hours.
Yeah. Paul R., thank you for hitting the PayPal link this morning, sir. Appreciate that. Don't forget you can attach a note to a PayPal, Paul, and I'll be happy to read it. You don't have to. Some people aren't aware. I just want to make sure you know. But thank you for hitting that PayPal link, buddy. We appreciate that. Thanks for supporting the show. Speaking of supporting the show, though, who enjoyed the Zack Smith call?
I actually caught some of that the other night.
I didn't know he was calling in. I'd been talking.
Yeah, well, you had just
About getting him on, yeah.
previously said who would like to hear from Zack Smith, I think.
Yeah, I
And
thought.
lo and behold, the guy calls in.
Yeah, I thought maybe we would get him on the morning show, for like an hour or something like that. But I didn't know he was calling in at night. And then, they're in the comment section like, I'm on hold. I almost kind of felt bad. I was like, well, I didn't know you were calling in. I could have given you a different number or something. You wouldn't have to wait. But anyway, he did. He waited on hold. And I don't know. He wants to come on some more.
Well, pretty cut and dry situation there, I would think.
Yeah.
You cut him and I'll dry him off.
Right.
See what he's got to say. I liked he was pretty candid with the Urban Meyer question.
He's an open book. There's nothing I can't ask him. Or we, or whatever, if he ever comes on. The mornings are not a good time for him, I've since found out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if or when we'll be able to have him on here, but
there's probably a couple of questions that would not be cool to ask him. Because you can come up with a couple of
well, we probably
uncool
shouldn't.
questions to ask anybody.
I probably wouldn't
you know.
ask him about his legal issues and all that. He may not even be. I don't know what the status is of that. I don't know if that stuff is ongoing or what. So we might not even be able to talk about it. I don't know. But as far as football stuff goes,
Oh yeah,
there's nothing we can't ask him. You know, tell us how you feel about Tom Herman would be a great question to ask Zack Smith.
yeah, and don't hold back.
Oh, he won't. He won't. He said the only reason Urban Meyer even entertained the invitation from Texas
Right.
was
right.
to show
Basically the
Tom Herman,
troll.
listen,
Yeah,
if I want your job, I can have it.
yeah. And I mean, there's only a handful of coaches in the country right now that would not feel intimidated by Urban Meyer sniffing around for a job at their school.
I told Falona, I told everybody on that thing after he called in, even if you don't normally do podcasts, go back and you remember BVD last offseason, we talked about the Zack Smith podcast a lot. It was when you first came on the show, really.
Yeah,
And we talked about it a lot.
You mentioned that after he hung up the other night, and I was going, did we? I don't remember that. But then the more I thought about it, as that was a long time ago.
That's what all the jokes about Tom Herman and the strip club.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all that comes from.
Yeah,
It's from him. It's from Zack Smith. He told all those stories on his podcast, and he'll tell them here on YouTube too.
well, I mean, why not?
But forget about the drama stuff for a second. That obviously is entertaining with him. But just think about all the players he's coached or been a coach on. He's been around some great players.
Yeah.
You know, it might be interesting to just hear some actual just football stories, too. You know, not just hey, tell us what a dirtbag Tom Herman is. I mean, that's funny too. I want to hear that too, but you know.
Jerry, I think you probably really know what Lou and I think about. I know you know what I think. About. Where's the question now? Damn it! Where'd it go? Ask us what we think about Zack Smith beating his wife. Guess that would be allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lou BBD, give me your thoughts on Zack Smith beating his wife. Well, first of all, again, allegedly, right?
He denies it, and the whole trespassing thing, according to him, he's told the story 100 times, is basically him going to pick his kids up and from his wife's house, and her calling the police and saying he's trespassing. And again, I don't know. I think anybody that lays their hand on a woman is a
piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
For any reason. I don't think there is.
But you gotta, I mean, unless you're one of these pussy men that lets their wife beat the shit out of them anyway. And even then, what are you doing? Damn it, I had a good example there of something else.
And he said he doesn't really think Urban's all that anxious to jump back into coaching, which may tell us why Clay Helton got an extension last year instead of getting fired. Maybe Southern Cal did reach out to him and he just said thanks but no thanks, and so they decided to keep Clay Helton. I don't know. Maybe.
And there's got to be somebody out there better than Clay Helton for that job, wouldn't you think? Of course, there's probably got to be somebody out there better than Jeremy Pruitt for the Tennessee job.
CB, there's 20 videos on this channel about me talking about what I think about Zack Smith beating his wife. The fact that you apparently haven't seen any of them is a you problem, not a me problem. If DeAndre Baker emails me and asks me if he can come on the show, I'll tell him yes too. And you'll have a similar decision to make when DeAndre Baker comes on. Do you watch or do you not watch? We know what decision you'll make already. The same decision you're going to make if Zack Smith comes back on. You're going to watch.
Yeah, AJ, shit. What was his last? I can't believe I'm dropping the ball on his last name. AJ.
I didn't hunt down Zack Smith out of the blue and ask him to call into the show. He just happened to call in. He has I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's a talent agent or some sort of represent. I don't know who. He's got somebody that represents him some kind of way. And that person has been watching this channel for years. And that person sent me an email saying Zack Smith wanted to come on the show. And then a day later, he called into the call-in show. I had no idea he was calling in. I thought he was going to come on the morning show. But again, what you think about it really doesn't matter to me. When does Kellen Mond actually leave Texas A&M? Hasn't he been there for 20 years? Yeah, and I don't know that he'll leave this year.
Doesn't have to.
The quarterback draft is so deep this year. He's definitely not in the top 6 if he comes out. I mean, the top 6 is pretty much set in stone.
Yeah, his best course of action would be to come back next year, would it not?
It doesn't matter if he's a senior Ghost fan. Nobody, this year doesn't count against any. Everybody can come back next year if they want to.
Free year.
What is my top 6? I do a top 10 video every Monday. So if you go to the main channel, the UNCLELOU channel, when was that, Monday? You won't have to look far to find it. I think it was Monday's video. If you don't want to watch it, just scroll to the end of the video. It puts the top 25 up on the screen. But it's the same as everyone else's on Earth. There is no different top 6 than mine. Everyone has the same top 6.
Same 6, same placement.
I don't know. I don't know if the placement is the same because I don't really I didn't even watch the playoff show on Tuesday, so I don't really know. But I'm sure the top 6 is the same. Hell, the top 10 might be the same.
Yeah.
Oh, top 6 QBs in the draft? Well, in no particular order: Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, Zack Smith, and Trey Lance.
Zack Smith.
Isn't that his name? The BYU. What's the BYU quarterback's name?
No, yeah, you're right.
I
I
think
just
it is Zach. It is
funny we
funny.
were
Yeah.
talking about Zack Smith
I didn't even
there.
think about that. Yeah, I think that is. I think that's his name though. But if it's not, I'm talking about the BYU. Oh, Zach Wilson. Yeah, BYU quarterback, and then Trey Lance, the North Dakota State quarterback. I think those are the top 6 quarterbacks that will get drafted. I also think it's possible all 6 of them get drafted in the first round.
Shit. Even the Fargo guy.
Yep. No, Joseph Smith is the guy who hallucinated and out in the mountains because he was high on peyote, and then invented Mormonism.
High on peyote, so he really couldn't determine which wife was really his.
Yeah, QB class is ridiculous this year. That's why I think like De'Aaron King, for example, his plan was clearly to go to Miami for 1 year, prove himself to the NFL, and go pro. That was clearly the plan. He may come back. I wouldn't be surprised if De'Aaron King came back. And I think he's a good quarterback. Will he make it in the NFL? I don't think so, and I don't even think another year is going to change that. But he could get drafted higher if he waits a year. And see, that's almost even more important to somebody like De'Aaron King, because De'Aaron King's going to make 90%, in my opinion anyway, 90% of the money De'Aaron King ever makes in the NFL is going to be off of his signing bonus and his first contract, because he may not ever get a second contract. So if by waiting a year,
to make it,
he's what?
As something that isn't he good enough of an athlete to make it as something besides a quarterback in the NFL, maybe?
Well, he might. I don't
Possibly.
know. He may not want to do that. Not everybody wants to do that. Jalen Hurts won't do it. Tim Tebow didn't do it. There's a lot of people that don't want to do that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But if coming back a year gets him drafted in the 2nd round instead of the 4th round, that's a huge deal to somebody like De'Aaron King, because the signing bonus and the money you'll make in your first contract getting drafted in the 2nd round versus the 4th round is a huge deal.
Hell, he might even be able to elevate himself to 1st round status. You never know. Depending on a lot of things.
And that would be great for Miami too, because like if you try to look at where Miami might be perceived heading into next season, whether you're talking about where they're ranked in a preseason poll or where they're picked to finish in the ACC or whatever, whether or not De'Aaron King comes back is going to have a huge impact on that, because quarterback has been Miami's Achilles heel. There's not another quarterback on that roster who will lead Miami to even 8-4 next year. There's not. I don't think. But if De'Aaron King
Martell still
back,
on that roster? He's gone, isn't he?
I don't even know. Miami's talking about bringing in that backup quarterback from Central Florida, Mackenzie Milton.
He opted out.
Yeah, I think Surtain will probably be the first corner taken. He's legit.
His dad played in the NFL, didn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of that going around.
Milton to Nebraska is another interesting possibility too, because you have the Scott Frost connection.
How is Nebraska doing this year? They started off kind of rough.
Not great. I mean, they've had a couple of who'd they beat?
Got a couple of wins.
They beat
here
Purdue.
lately.
That surprised some people. So it's it's been okay, but not great.
No threat of the Nebraska's back talk popping up anytime soon. Then
You'll probably hear it from a few Nebraska fans, but not outside of that. Probably not.
never thought I'd say this, but I miss Nebraska being in the top 10, 15 teams in the country, but I miss Tennessee doing that too. So
Yeah.
several teams that used to be up there that a lot of kids nowadays would never guess.
A D4, I've made that point before. I God bless any man that thinks it's a good idea to live with 3-4 different women. I mean, I get, I know what the first thing that people always say, and okay, great. That's literally the only positive, though, if you even consider that a positive, but I don't see how anybody could do that. Live with 3-4 women. I don't understand.
Well, it's pretty widely known that the man is the dominant figure in that relationship, isn't it? I mean, any woman, I would think, willing to be okay with 2 or 3 or 4 other women in the house would have to be pretty submissive.
Well, all organized religion is built on that principle. But I guess maybe Mormonism in particular.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to move out there and become a Mormon. That might solve my.
I don't have a problem with Mormonism any more than I have a problem with any other religion or denomination. It's nothing particular about. My issue is with the institution of BYU, not the fact that it's Mormon. Not that I think Mormons are great. I mean, well, first of all, it doesn't matter what I think, but I have a bit of an issue with just organized religion in general. Doesn't matter, Mormonism, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. My main problem with BYU is the institution of BYU and some of the policies and practices that they have, not the fact that they're Mormons. Some guy wants to try to please 4 women, but God bless him, I care.
There's a lot of Texas A&M fans out there that are Mormons, aren't they?
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they'd love for Mon to come back next year for some more. Oh, Mormon, not Mormon.
I see what you did there. See what you did there.
Boom, boom. The Gator Boo with us again this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're still alive for many more years, Boo. Good people.
Oh.
Even a good person.
I wanted to do something this morning. Where's my Alabama fans at?
Yeah. Happy belated birthday to Ballard, too.
Lou has political ideology differences with Mormonism, so he takes it out on BYU. Lou basically is a racist. Boy, that comment makes... If I could count the ways that comment made no sense... Mormonism is not a political ideology. That's number one. If Mormonism was a political ideology, and I hated both the religion and the political ideology, neither of those two things would have anything to do with race. This guy, boy. Imagine being inside this guy's head.
Yeah, it's hard enough work being inside my own.
I don't fight Mormonism. I literally just said my problem is not with Mormonism. It's not.
Good news, Lou. You
I mean,
ask where your Bama fans are, and just like that, Asan Sarshar shows up.
who?
I guess I'm pronouncing that name. Asan Sarshar is Roll Damn Tide.
Oh, I see it.
PH. Sam. What is that? Sarjar Banks? That's Jar Jar Banks.
Lou bitches about BYU is how he fights Mormonism. So when I say Rudy was off sides, is that me fighting Catholicism?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I say something about BYU, this guy, this guy's mind is so simple and basic that he doesn't have the ability to separate any of this. He has to lump it all together. It's the only way for him to make it make sense. You don't care nearly as much about the Catholics. This guy.
Yes, you're very welcome, Asan. Am I pronouncing your name right? It'd be a miracle if I was. Asan? Asan, wouldn't it?
Oh, I see him. Asan Sarshar.
Oh, and I said it right. Look at there. Exactly, GG. Lou hates a school, so he clearly hates their whole religion.
If the University of Georgia had the same policies that BYU has, I would be on here saying the exact same things.
Would you still be a Georgia fan? At this point, it would be hard not to. So.
Yeah. Cancel Lou. You start. You start, Harris. I want you to be the first one. Okay? You be the first one, Harris. Hit that unsubscribe button and click off the video.
Well, now technically, I was just looking at that. He's not necessarily saying unsubscribe. He's saying cancel, Lou.
Lou thinks BYU should discriminate against white people.
Huh?
Okay, now I know this guy has no idea. He's got to be trolling.
Yeah,
and
he's got to be trolling.
Nobody can be that stupid. It pisses him off they discriminate against gays instead. It should piss everyone off that any institution would discriminate against anybody. Lou's just mad that BYU discriminates. Yeah.
I think that's a
ding, ding, ding. God damn. Fucking moron. Lou's just mad that they discriminate. You showed me, Ralph.
I don't think so, Celine Driver. My dollar sign's still up now.
Most schools discriminate against white people, he says. There's not a single college in America that has a policy banning white people. There's not a single one.
Yeah, even the historically black colleges allow white people.
Imagine a university having a policy that says, okay, you can be white, you just can't display your whiteness. You can't publicly be white. This guy, this Ralph. Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph.
Most universities make it harder to get in if you're white. I'm gonna need an explanation on that one.
Lou mad because Mormons did not play Christians. Mormons are Christians. What is going on here? What is happening here? I got to get a coffee refill. BVD, explain what's going on to these people.
Oh boy. What's going on here is a super chat from back it up here from Tyler P. Says Celine, it works fine for me. Works fine for Gator Boo too. Thank you, Gator Boo, for the super chat. Lou, did you get my email the other day? I hope I got the right email. Lou, you can hear us, so when you get back, let Lou know if you got his email. Mormons are not Christians, says CB. Well, I don't know one way or the other, nor do I care. So, CB, I'll let you and Uncle Lou hash that one out. I don't, I may not have made it perfectly clear. I don't care who is what religion or not. This doesn't matter to me. It has no bearing on my life whatsoever. So, shouldn't have any bearing on anyone else's either. Like this guy, Ralph. Not sure why, unless he's Mormon, why he cares what Lou's thoughts are on Mormons. Or unless he's just having a little fun poking the bear this morning. Yeah, Showtime Mike, a lot of people don't know what it's like to see Tennessee dominant. A lot of Tennessee fans don't know what it's like to see Tennessee dominant, and I'm not being funny, that's a fact. Which makes it, to me, makes those people, the young Tennessee fans, got to respect those guys. Got to respect anybody that's a fan of a team that sucks and has pretty much for their whole life. Works fine, Celine Driver. Thank you for the super chat. It's working good. Or working well, either way you want to put it. Not working at all on your computer, Celine? That is interesting, to say the least. You're a Tech fan and you were born after your last. When was Tech's last natty? 80s? 90s? Gotcha, Celine. Thank you. 1990. That was shared, right? I'm not mistaken. That's what I thought. For some reason, I was thinking Michigan, but yeah, shared with Colorado. That's right.
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah.
But
How would you
really,
feel about a shared title?
most people consider Georgia Tech the real champion that year because Colorado had that infamous fifth down play. So they should have lost that game. I want you to think about what we complain about now about referees. Then imagine, can you imagine if Alabama was losing a game late in the fourth quarter and was, quote unquote, accidentally given a fifth down and then scored to win the game? I mean, the internet would explode.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in here. You'd have to be 1990. What was that? 30 years ago. A lot of people in here weren't even alive then. But I mean, it's hard to explain how big of a deal that was when it happened. Like people couldn't believe it.
Did you get Boo's email the other day?
I don't know, but I'm sure if he sent it to me, I got it, but I haven't Haven't seen it.
There's been some very egregious missed referee calls here in the last few years, college and pros. Namely, the missed PI call or the lack of the non PI call with New Orleans. I guess that was a couple of years ago. Good God, that was a couple of years ago already.
Yeah.
Um,
In the NFC Championship game?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's never been a more blatant pass interference, I don't think. And it's bad at every level. I don't know what they're teaching officials or if they're teaching them at all, but I mean, from high school on up, it's just been awful. Of course, it's understandable. It's understandable a little more so in high school. I think there's maybe one less official out there on the field, but there's no replay, so that makes a blown call in high school that much worse.
Yeah.
Can't review it. And there's been a bunch, where I'm out there filming a game and I see one that's blatant and I'm like, damn it. And I can't, I want to run over there and show the guy on camera, see what you missed, asshole. But that's part of the game too. It doesn't make it fun for you when it's your team, but it definitely, the old human element, as people like to say, keeps it interesting for sure. Until it's your team that
Jordan
gets exposed.
Bowman, Ralph's not a football fan. He's a Lou fan. So that's why he says he barely knows about football or whatever. Tyler P, thank you for the super chat. He says, Celine, it works fine for me. Don't know what he's talking about, but Celine, whatever it is, it works fine for Tyler P. Boxers R Us, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, did you get my email the other day? I hope you got the email. I'm sure I got it. I'll pull it up now. When you say the other day, can you be a little more specific? Because
I want to say he meant Tuesday.
The amount of emails I get in a day is ridiculous.
When we were talking to him.
Tuesday, that would have been December 8th. Okay. Gator Boo's not named Edward.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Gator Edward Boo.
Oh, I do see it.
I know I said I don't care when I saw this comment a minute ago, but I am a little bit interested in hearing your thoughts, Lou. I think it was Ralph that said Mormons are not Christians.
I mean, I guess it depends on what your definition of Christian is. But I mean, they do believe Jesus Christ was the Son of God, that he died, came back to life, ascended to heaven to sit next to God. So as far as debating over what the definition of a Christian is, I'm not too interested in doing that.
Yeah.
There are Catholics who think Protestants aren't Christian. There are Protestants who think Catholics aren't Christian. There are different types of Catholics who think the other type of Catholic is not Christian. I mean, this is part of the problem with organized religion, as far as using it to govern a society, is that you can't even get Christians to agree on what Christianity is. So why anybody thinks it would be a good idea to then use that same Christianity to govern people or whatever, which thank God the founders were smarter than the average bear. Because we don't do that here for a reason.
Agreed, Boo. Too many religions. That's why
I mean, if everybody could agree on what Christianity means, there would only be one denomination, and it would be called Christianity. But there's not one denomination. There's thousands because they can't agree. So, which is why it's a terrible idea to use the Bible or Christianity or any religion for that matter to govern a society. and which is why we don't do it here. You know, that's what Sharia law is. We hate Sharia law, but you got a lot of people that hate Sharia law, but then advocate for a Christian version of Sharia law here, but it'll never happen. Mormons reject the Holy Trinity, and thus, by definition, the whole idea of the Holy Trinity is a Catholic idea. So there's plenty of Protestants who don't necessarily believe in the Holy Trinity the same way a Catholic does. It doesn't make a Baptist not a Christian, I don't think, any more than it makes a Mormon not a Christian. But again,
I have
whatever.
no idea.
That's
why I stay in my lane.
That's part
when it
about
comes to
religion. You can believe whatever you want about any religion you want.
Yep.
What you can't do is take that belief and force it on other people. That's the only thing you can't do.
And my opinion too is I don't think you can tell someone their belief is wrong. I mean, you can tell them that, but like I can tell Lou, I think your beliefs in religion are wrong.
Right.
But that doesn't make it true. I'm of the religion what's known as wait and seeology.
Yeah. Oh, this
Now,
isn't
that
a football show. A couple
be
of people saying "shut up and talk football." Or this isn't a football show, though.
Wow, done been told to shut up. Shut up and talk. That's a oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or telling Lou and BB to shut up is just moronic.
Jess is on the way to the doctor.
I am here.
I actually like Ray, Tyler. So I don't know if there'll be any Ray versus Lou part 2 or whatever. I actually like Ray. Now,
Ray, who?
some of the people that follow him around had to be taught a lesson, but that's not Ray's fault. I can't hold Ray responsible for what people that watch him do. That would be like someone holding me responsible for what one of y'all do.
You know, Ray Brower was in here the other day, Lou.
Who's that?
You know him? It's the dead kid from Stand By Me.
Oh.
Remember they were on their way to see Ray Brower? It's the dead kid.
I don't remember the name.
That done went and showed up on the morning show. Pretty good stuff when you got dead people showing up to watch.
Celine says, see if this works on my iPhone. Good morning. Yes, it worked. And I can tell it's from an iPhone because it's $1.99. Hurricane did from an iPhone, too.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So did Tyler P. It has to do with the fees that Apple charges.
Okay.
You know how I say YouTube takes half, your 50% of your super chat, blah, 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 that whole thing. YouTube doesn't technically take half. I think YouTube takes 35%, but then depending on how you send the super chat, there are other fees attached to it. Like Apple charges a fee. They don't charge you to send it. They charge the person you're sending it to.
Mm-hmm.
And that has something to do with why it comes up as $1.99 from an iPhone, as opposed to doing it from a PC or an Android.
Yes, the person getting, I don't know if punished is the right word. Well, on that whole super chat thing, I've said many times it's jacked up in some ways that YouTube takes what they take, but at the same time, without YouTube, there would be no super chats. So,
Holy hell.
holy hell.
Mike Bridges, yes, it definitely worked, sir. He says, check PayPal's first time I've used it. You definitely used it correctly, sir. So thank you. And Merry Christmas to me and BVD.
I guess I like the sound of that.
Or Happy Holidays or whatever. Happy Holidays to you, Mr. Bridges.
Yes. Mike Bridges, a regular here and on BBD TV.
He says, happy holidays to you both. I wanted to give you guys a little gift for helping me get through some tough days over the last 6 months. You guys are awesome, and both of your shows have given me an outlet to get away from tough stuff in life over the last 6 months. Keep up the great work, and you help others more than you know. Thanks, Mike Bridges. Thank you again, Mr. Bridges.
I love everyone's comments for the most part, but those right there, those are the ones.
Because you know what people don't understand, BVD, and I know you've told them this, and I've told them this too. The reason we do this is because we need help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've said it many times, and people have said I'm crazy, but YouTube actually, in a lot of ways, saved my life.
Me too.
You know.
Me too. My family, YouTube, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing now. I do it a couple of times a year. I tell the whole story about where I was at versus where I am now and how YouTube helped to get me there. And by YouTube, I mean the people that watch me and interact with me and talk football with me year round and stuff like that. So anytime we hear from somebody that says somehow something we did help them, it reminds me of what a help you all have been to me, and I like BBD said I've heard BBD say it 100 times too.
Well, YouTube is not the sole reason, but in many, many ways, if not for YouTube, I probably wouldn't know who my son is.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know how they break it down, Tyler. And even Bad Dog says, and by the way, good morning, Bad Dog. YouTube takes a good percentage, but they don't take close to 50% for me. Wonder why that is. Is it different for everybody? That's what I don't get. Why should or would it be different for everybody? A lot of it depends on your taxes, right, Lou?
What are you talking about?
The super chat.
Why would what be different?
Why would it be different from one person to the next on what's taken? Because Bad Dog says YouTube takes nowhere near 50% from him. Wonder why it's different. I think that's what he said.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. YouTube takes 35%. That I know. And then depending on how the person pays,
Right,
it's above that. Trying to figure out the amount above that it is impossible from what and believe me, I've tried. And the way I found this out is when super chats first became a thing. I would do a live show, and if somebody sent me a $5 super chat, my head exploded. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm still that way. But the point I'm making is I got nowhere near the amount back then that I do now, so it was a lot easier to track. And one night, someone sent me a $200 super chat, and this has been, how long have super chats been around now? 3 years or whatever. So this was a long time ago. $200 still is a lot of money. But anyway, that one super chat was enough money for me to notice it one way or the other when I looked at my YouTube revenue overall, and it was way off. And so I looked into it and actually emailed. I thought I never got credited the $200 is what happened. Anyway, I emailed YouTube back and forth 100 times. Of that $200, I got 90.
Damn.
It was the only super. It was on a night show. It was the only super chat anybody. It was Smallville. And
Yeah,
of that $200, I
okay.
got 90, and they kept telling me we take 35%, we take 35%, and I'm like, I get that, but
Where's
you
the
can
rest of it
look at
going?
my analytics and see, because if you don't have a YouTube channel, you might not know this, but I can go to any video I've ever done, and I can see the amount of super chat revenue I actually got paid. Not that you guys sent me, but how, like right now, I've been sent $23.97 in super chats for this show. 25 now. I will not get paid 25. Well, no, now it's back to 23.97. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I will not get paid that amount. I will get paid some amount less than that. That the amount less starts at 35% less, because that's what YouTube takes. And then depending on how all of these super chats were sent, there are other fees attached. So when I say 50%, that's not a hard and fast number.
Yeah, that's just a.
Maybe I end up getting 60% of this $23.97. I don't know. Maybe I end up getting 40%. I don't know. I know that when super chats first became a thing and an individual sent me $200, I got 90 of that. And that's how it was explained to me by YouTube. And when I asked for the percentages based on how they pay, YouTube just tells you you have to contact them to find out. Like you have to contact Apple or contact Google or contact Microsoft if they pay through a Windows phone or all this kind of stuff. So I really don't know. I just say 50% because it's easy to say than to just spend 5 minutes like I just did trying to explain the exact amount. It's about 50% for me on average. The details of it are confusing, like with the details. If you have a YouTube channel and you've ever tried to find out any information about anything, you can't. They're intentionally, what's the word? They're not very forthcoming.
Nor do they necessarily have to be.
Yeah,
Morning,
and Pete says Uncle Sam. Yeah, the taxes that the government charges you at the end of the year. That's a whole other. Issue altogether. Which is why starting January 1st of 2021, Uncle Lou isn't getting paid anything from YouTube or anywhere else. LouTube is getting paid. And then LouTube can pay Uncle Lou.
Lucky Lou's corner,
But
right?
that's a good problem to have.
And it's all just a big mishmash of shit to talk about. Bottom line is
having this studio built this year is the only thing that's going to save me come tax time here in a couple of months, because I mean, I put money aside all year long to pay my taxes. It wouldn't be enough if I didn't have a huge write-off this year. Celine seems surprised that someone would want to pay less taxes.
yeah, I was noticing that comment. See, I thought you were doing it, Lou, because you wanted to pay more taxes.
The Biscuit says,
Wanted
Lou,
to
can
help
you
the
write off
government
working with
out.
mentally disabled, like South Carolina fans? You can only write off the mentally disabled if you hire them. If you hire a mentally disabled person, then there's a tax write-off built into that. But as far as interacting with the mentally disabled, no, unfortunately, I can't write that off.
No, that doesn't count either, CB. I'm only perceived to be a tard.
Yeah, it's all a ruse.
Yeah.
BBD has spent 12 years convincing people he's a little on the slow side.
Hmm. Actually, longer than that.
What service do you use for multiple TV feeds? Okay, I have Dish Network here, and then I have a bunch of wireless boxes. So 3 of my TVs are running a Dish Network signal through a wireless box. The other 2 TVs, hold on. Yeah, the other 2 TVs, I watch through apps, mainly the ESPN app. So on the 2 TVs that aren't Dish Network, I watch ESPN games on those 2 channels.
Now, on your Dish Network, you have 3 wireless boxes, right? What you just said.
Right.
So is there like a $4.99 or whatever $5 charge?
I think it's $5 per box. Yeah.
Because that's what I've been trying to decide what to do with mine. But football season's about over, so I'm gonna stick with the way I got it right now, which is just one cable box. Which I've got. Man, I got to get rid of this cable. This shit is nothing but a big rip off.
Yeah, if it wasn't for I keep that. The only reason I keep Dish Network or any cable provider at this point in 2020 is for the reliability during football season. That's it. I totally get it that it's way cheaper and probably more convenient or whatever. I don't know, to do like these Fire Sticks or YouTube TV and all this kind of stuff. I completely understand, and believe me, if this was 10 years ago and all I was doing was sitting in my living room watching one game at a time, I would 100% have cut the cord with cable a long time ago. But it's worth it. The price that I have to pay to have Dish Network, it's worth it to know that all I have to do is pick up a remote control and hit a couple of numbers on the keypad, and the game is going to come up, period, no matter what. But that's literally the only reason we still have any type of cable at all.
I've got a Fire Stick, compliments Wilkie, and one of the apps I have on there is a sports app that my cousin put on there, lets me use his account on. And you're supposed to be able to get any sporting event that is televised anywhere. You're supposed to be able to get. Well, the other night, I was going to stream the Tennessee basketball game. The paper said it was on the SEC network. Well, the Georgia game was on the SEC networks, and I saw somewhere else that was on ESPN Plus. I'm not sure how ESPN Plus works, but I don't have it here. So I got on the Fire Stick. Sure enough, on that sports app right there, plain as day, Colorado at Tennessee. Clicked on it, nothing. So I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know if that was a Fire Stick thing or a game that the game just wasn't televised thing. And that's always been my concern and worry with the Fire Sticks is dependability. Like you said, with cable, as much as my internet goes out a shit ton here lately, and as much as it costs to have cable here, the dependability, like you said, of pushing a couple of buttons is nice.
Yeah, and I mean, y'all know how I get so frustrated so fast. If I had to deal with trying to get 5 different games on 5 different TVs using 5 different Fire Sticks or 5
shit.
different apps, or I would go.
You'd have a pile of broken TVs out
yeah,
there.
yeah. And Bad Dog mentioned Dish Network is a tax write-off. I'm not an accountant. Don't ever listen to anything I say and then do it yourself, and then later down the road say, "Well, Lou said." But I write off 25% of my Dish Network bill at the end of the year. That's what I do. No one has told me that. I don't have an accountant, so maybe I could write off more. I don't know. I'll have an accountant next year, but I've never had one before. But I write off 25% of my TV bill. I write off 50% of my cell phone bill. I write off 50% of my internet bill. But don't, that's just what I do. Don't take any of my advice there. Up Close and Personal sent a super chat. Let's see what he has to say. He says, tell BVD UNC will kill Auburn, and UNC will win more games in the East than Tennessee. UNC beating Miami this weekend. # Go Heels.
Well, you told me.
North Carolina fan. The Tard Heels.
Hard Heels.
He has another one, too. Let's see what he says. He says, hey, Lou, did you get my first PayPal earlier? Yes, sir, I did. Did you hear about South Carolina owe Muschamp $2 million more because they forgot to sign the contract to reduce his buyout? Oh, my God. You know, I was scrolling I was scrolling through YouTube yesterday.
Wait, is that true?
I think it is, because I was scrolling through YouTube yesterday and I saw a video from Carolina Jackpot, and the title was something like South Carolina figures out a way to pay loser Muschamp more money or something like that. And I clicked on it, started watching it, but then dinner was ready and I turned it off and I forgot to go back to it, but that must have been what that video was about. That's hilarious.
So say that again.
They redid his contract last year to reduce his buyout, similar to what Michigan did with Harbaugh a couple of weeks ago. And apparently what he's saying is that they forgot to sign the contract. So they drew it up, they agreed on it, the whole thing. A similar thing happened with Mark Richt. He was given an extension in principle or something. They had agreed on it, but nothing was ever signed. And UGA honored it anyway. Now, in Muschamp's case, it works in Muschamp's favor. In UGA's case, this would have worked against Mark Richt. He would have gotten less money at the end, but UGA paid him anyway. In this case,
how the hell does a university forget to sign a contract?
well, this is South Carolina we're talking about here.
I don't care. That's that's not almost. That is unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about a candy bar contract here. We're talking millions of freaking dollars. How
Right.
do you forget to sign that?
Right.
Sounds like they need an accountant. Yeah.
All right, Mike Bridges, appreciate you tuning in this morning, sir. Have a great day at work.
Wait.
At least
Okay,
I'm not the
done.
moron that posted my address and Facebook in a YouTube chat just to pick a fight. I think Maynard James Keenan and Chess Hall are arguing again.
Yeah. Y'all need to just go ahead and cut that shit out.
Laker Dog returns Friday.
Damn, already?
NBA back already? Oh, did y'all hear what Mike Krzyzewski said yesterday? He's still the Duke coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
he wants to know why the hell are we playing college basketball right now? Now,
That explains.
he's got to be
somebody's
one of the most
comment.
influential people in all of college basketball.
Oh yeah, gotta be.
He in an interview yesterday, he said, "I don't know what we're doing here." He was like, "I'll be honest, we're out here just going through the motions here. I don't know why we're playing." He was like, "This doesn't make any sense to me." He said, "Everybody is saying that the next 6 weeks is going to be the worst 6 weeks health-wise since 1918. We're out here playing basketball for what? And it's not even good basketball. We can't hardly practice. All the games are getting canceled. We're traveling places, and then we can't play. What are we doing here?"
Yeah, he does have a point.
I was just surprised. Coaches usually are on the opposite end of that spectrum, like play no matter what.
He's getting paid regardless.
I guess.
And I wonder if it's going to end up being the same thing in basketball. Are they going to get an extra year of eligibility? Not that it really. Well, yeah, it does matter.
Oh yeah, Bad Dog. We definitely need to have you on while you're on your vacation. We need you to come on and explain to everyone how the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl again.
And how your Giants are managing to win games without Davey. And why my Cardinals are having such a hard time with the best quarterback in the league. And the best receiver. Yeah, they probably are.
Tyler P. Tyler P. does a $1.99 super chat. He says Lou gets $1, Apple gets 30 cents, YouTube gets 70 cents. That's about right. The Truth, the Prophet. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, there is only one true prophet, and with arrows pointing at himself. And he says, also, can you unblock me on the main account? The Prophet Lou, smile, please.
How long has that been going on?
Yeah, I think I probably should unblock him. I forgot about that. He was on a 2-week. It was supposed to be a 2-week deal, and I forgot to unblock him.
He's been asking for 2 weeks to get unblocked.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that.
I think you may owe him one free 2-week blocking in the future.
No, doesn't work that way. Where's this at? There it is. Lou the Prophet. God, I hate this. Is why I don't unblock people because then I have to.
Nothing is. Yeah, then you got to search for them.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't put these
in
order.
Should
either be in alphabetical order or chronological.
Yeah,
but it's in neither.
It's neither.
It's just complete random order. So I have to scroll through 2,000 blocked accounts now to try to find something called the Prophet Lou, please smile.
That's just one of many things that YouTube does that makes you scratch your head.
It's been a while since I've looked at this list, though. It's always fun to read some of the names off to you guys, so I'll read some of the greatest hits here.
Yeah.
But Poop is still blocked.
Mm-hmm. Good old Poop.
Uncle Lou on LouTube is blocked. Uncle Lou is blocked. Ah, the ultimate troll. Yes. I sort of remember him.
Wonder what his name is currently. Because he didn't just go away quietly into the night.
Mr. Typo is blocked.
Mr. Typo. Negative.
F Me Daddy is blocked.
You get into some of those names that we've got blocked on our channel.
Some of these I can't even read.
Yeah, well, some of them it's just amazing that people are that fucked in the head.
Daddy Lou Come Inside Me is still blocked, if anyone was wondering.
I was just wondering about that earlier.
Please block this account is still blocked. TikTok Checkers Hall. The big guy Chess Hall. My God.
You keep looking at.
Uncle Lou's son likes Austin Bennett is still blocked.
Austin Bennett.
Yeah.
Is that
Uncle Nazi is blocked.
is that a Stetson Bennett typo, or is there
No.
really an Austin Bennett?
Yeah, there was really an Austin Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Someone's account named OOK is blocked, and their profile picture is Chess Hall.
Thank you, Slim Shady, for the super chat this morning. He says, yes, Bad Dog, please come on and get everyone's hopes up about the Chiefs. That way people are even madder when Brady wins another Super Bowl.
What about this one? TikTok Celine Driver is still blocked.
TikTok Celine Driver.
TikTok Celine Driver. Oh, boy. I think actually some of the worst ones are on my main account back when I used to do live shows over there. Not all the... I mean, there's still plenty on here, but some of the worst are over there. Another Lou, please come inside me account.
J Win ATL. J Win ATL. Thank you for the super chat. He wants to know, what do you think about LSU cheating scandal? I can answer that one.
Yeah, asked and answered.
Yeah. If you weren't here a few minutes ago, we were just talking about that. I think it's pretty shitty that they are self-imposing a 1 year or a bowl ban in a year where they're not going to a bowl anyway.
Oh, now Uncle Lou's daughter likes Austin Bennett. So my son and my daughter like Austin Bennett. Both
I'll
those
be safe
accounts
to
are blocked,
say
though.
Somewhere down in there that Uncle Lou's wife probably likes Austin Bennett too is blocked.
Celine Driver sucks is blocked.
Celine Driver's got some fans out there.
Lou Jr. is blocked. Who blocked my son? Can't believe y'all would do that. Oh, here's the smile guy. Okay, unblock him. Save. All right, I'm not going to go through the rest of those. I found what I was looking for. Okay, I unblocked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I unblocked it. Don't forget 10% for the big guy, too, and also. Not sure what that means.
Chess Hall's left eyebrow has left the building.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Chess Hall shaved his eyebrow off. That's right.
Yeah. You know why?
He lost a bet.
He lost a bet. He lost a Georgia trivia contest to D4.
Oh, wow.
So he did battle that night, too.
Yeah. Pinecone says cooking. What is that? It looks like a picture of a sheep.
Yeah, I saw that. It does look like a cooking lamb.
Cooking lamb after Miami beats North Carolina. I don't dig on lamb.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you read those two from Slim and Jay.
Proof indeed that toothless hillbillies can read.
Yes.
Now, toothless inbred hillbillies, I'm not so sure about.
Right, probably can't
know
read.
any of those.
Yeah.
Slim Shady Canes with another one. At least Miami self-imposed a postseason ban when they won their division in 2012 or 13.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, huh?
Miami won the division in 12 or 13?
That's what I was.
Hmm. 'Cause- 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 'cause-
there was that year a 6-7 Georgia Tech team won the division.
(2012) ACC standings. Miami was 5-3 in the conference. That year. So was Georgia Tech. So was North Carolina.
Tough division.
2012. And North Carolina beat Miami head-to-head that year. So North Carolina won the division in 2012. Let's see about 2013. Miami was 5-3 in the conference. Duke was 6-2. So Duke won the division. Because I think the only time Miami's ever won their division was in 2017.
Some Shady Canes with the 305. Yes, they did, but Georgia Tech went because of the postseason ban.
Well, if two teams have the same record, head-to-head determines the division winner, and North Carolina beats you. Is that not right? You and North Carolina were both 5-3. North Carolina beat you. Wouldn't that make North Carolina the division champion?
Is he maybe talking about a different year, 2013? Did you look 2013 up?
Yeah, 2013, Duke won the division at 6-2.
Yeah,
Miami
right.
was 5-3.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Nothing new for the super chat. Good morning. Nothing else except thank you for Justin Fields. That's all.
Oh, you're welcome.
Plenty of good etiquette and manners flowing here on the morning show this Thursday.
If two teams have the same record, they both get credit for winning the division. Yeah, that's not true. Only one team can play in the conference title game, and it's whoever wins the division. There's a whole series of tiebreakers they go through to determine that winner. If Georgia and Florida finish the season with the same SEC record, then whoever wins the Georgia-Florida game is the division winner. If Florida were to lose to LSU this weekend, Florida and Georgia would have the same record. Florida would be the division winner because they beat Georgia. No.
No.
Whoever that was on call waiting. Sun Belt is Power 5. Technically not true.
Sun Belt is not Power 5.
Thank you for the super chat, Thomas McNeil. And Up Close and Personal says, Miami fans are delusional. I'm going to agree with that in general. Of course, there are fans of some teams. I mean, there are some fans of every team that are delusional. Up Close and Personal also did PayPal.
Except for Alabama. Their fans are all level-headed and
yes,
fair and balanced.
Coach K only said that because his team is losing games. He's supposed to win. Duke looked terrible. He wouldn't say that if they were winning.
Yeah,
I'll
they
be
got-
honest, I don't even know what Duke's record is, so maybe
They got-
that could be true. I don't know.
Last I saw a couple of days ago, they were ranked 10th, I believe, and they got smacked by
Okay.
Illinois in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. I mean, smacked.
Yikes. So you can play non-con games in basketball.
Apparently, there's unless I'm totally wrong, I have seen no limitations.
Okay, good.
Because I mean, Tennessee played Colorado.
That's good.
Georgia played something called Montana the other night.
Well, Georgia's undefeated, so.
They are. These announcers crack me up. I don't recall seeing anybody in the stands at that Georgia game at Stegman, but the announcer, you can hear him clear as day now. You know, nobody in the stands, but every time Georgia would hit a three, that guy would go, hey, with a three ball or whatever.
Shout out to Arkansas. They're 5-0.
Yeah,
Shout out to Georgia and Missouri. They're 4-0.
yeah,
Everyone else is chasing those three.
yeah. Tennessee's 1-0.
Yep.
Still undefeated. Just like the Trolls.
Shout out to Auburn. They're 2-2.
Ooh, poor Bruce.
BVD, what's Kentucky's record?
0-0.
1-3.
Ooh, I like it.
Remember when they used to be a basketball school?
Yeah, now they're a football school.
Yeah, I barely remember.
Can't tell them that though.
How is
That's what
Kentucky's 1-3?
That's
What the hell
getting-
is going on?
That's what getting those one and dones every year will eventually do for you. Can't create.
They
any
lost to
team
Richmond.
chemistry.
They've lost 3 in a row.
They lost to Evansville last year, so it's beginning to be an every year thing.
They
where
beat Morehead
Kentucky-
State, and then they lost to Richmond, Kansas, and Georgia Tech.
Guess that Richmond loss cost them 2 more losses.
What a
course,
joke
losing to
Kentucky is
Kansas.
in basketball.
Losing to Kansas is not,
Kentucky's a joke in
I
basketball.
agree. Son of a bitches. They'll still end up winning the conference.
What a joke.
At least the conference tournament. If it's played. I'm not sure what to think about old Coach K. He does make some good points. But it seems to me like basketball would be a lot easier to keep control than football. Wouldn't you think?
Well, you're definitely dealing with less people.
Yeah.
So that in itself, you would think,
That's-
makes it a little easier.
A smaller arena, which a lot of people aren't even. I don't know what the policy is, if there even is a policy in the SEC, but there was like 4,000 people at the Tennessee game Wednesday night. They said so. 4,000 people in a 24,000 seat arena. That's again sounds like what, about 20% ish.
Sea Dog Morgan says he's tired of the tech disrespect in these comments. Good morning to you, sir.
"2012 three-way tie, and it came down to Georgia Tech and Miami because of the 7th tiebreaker, and then Miami was out because of self-imposed ban." Okay, thank you for that, Slim Shady. Now that we've got that cleared up, is Miami back? Guess we'll have to wait till next year to find out. Wouldn't you say a team has to have 2 highly successful seasons in a row to determine whether they're back or not?
Yeah, look no further than the Texas Longhorns to answer that question. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. They're back every year.
Well, what I mean is they were back in 2018. Remember? They made the Sugar Bowl, beat Georgia, had a good year.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
no one knows anything they've done since then because they haven't done anything of note.
So Texas still looking to be back. Quite a few teams looking to be back. Marshall would like to get back in the winning column, but that's not going to happen because their game with Charlotte was canceled. So I guess that's it. What I was reading right is correct yesterday. It was Rice. It was Rice that beat them, right? Yeah, 5 turnovers. Who you got in the Army Navy game this weekend?
Army,
Yes.
low scoring.
Oh,
Low
my boy.
scoring game.
My boy Cade gets in. Hope all 3 of the quarterbacks get in. Hope they're beating them enough to where they can get them all 3 in there.
What a great show.
Covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah. Took care of that whole Mormon issue. Put that baby to bed.
Yeah, I'm sure that got completely cleared up.
Mm-hmm. Ralph won't have any more questions for you. Lined him up. So yeah, it's time to go get some breakfast now.
All right, we appreciate you guys tuning in today. Slim Shady says Miami is definitely backer than Texas or Tennessee. Well, right now they are. They're the ones having the one good year right now.
Yeah, they're the only one out of the 3 even worthy of being back.
Yeah.
But we'll be back next year.
Yeah. And me and you will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. to do this morning show again and wrap up the week. Today's Thursday, so I'll be on at 12 with Pigskin Pete for the Lunch Money Show.
You'll be back in a couple hours.
Tune into that, 12 o'clock right here on this channel. Then, of course, tonight at 10 p.m., Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. Make sure you tune in for that as well. Give me a call tonight. Let me know what's on your mind. To the people in the comment section earlier complaining that we weren't talking about football, the 12 o'clock show and the 10 o'clock show are football shows. So tune into those. You'll be glad you did, and you'll have nothing to complain about.
Oh, they'll find something.
Yeah, they usually do. Big shout out to everybody who helped support the show today through the Super Chat and the PayPal. We really appreciate that. That's what keeps these live shows going. So big thank you to all of you for that. Thanks to everybody that tuned in and participated in the comments section. Thanks to the 68 of you who think this was a good show this morning.
All right.
That's pretty good. That's a little over half.
Oh, I'm seeing 41, but
I see 69 now.
That's a good round number.
Yeah.
Good horizontal number.
Yeah. 72
71.
now.
Yeah.
74.
And for the 3 of you, 2 now, that didn't think today was a good show, come on back tomorrow and we'll try again.
What is that, the thumbs down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Somebody changed their mind.
That must have been the two BYU graduates that were tuned
Could
in.
have been.
Yeah.
Must have fell off their bicycle.
Right. That's really the only explanation that I can think of anyway.
Yep. Hard to believe someone would
Herschel Walker is terrible. I would spit on his Heisman. That guy wins the Try Hard Award today.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I would spit on his Heisman.
Somebody timed him out.
My guess is Herschel Walker's Heisman could probably whoop that dude's ass.
Yeah.
And it's just a statue.
Yeah.
All right, Lou.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning. We had a good time. Don't forget about the $100 contest. Send me a picture, ugly Christmas sweater or ugly, tacky, funny, whatever, Christmas decorations. Send your picture in. Email it to me.
Good plan.
CrazyUncleLou@gmail.com. CrazyUncleLou@gmail.com. Email me the picture. Not tomorrow, but next Friday. We're going to put the pictures up for everybody to see, and we'll pick a winner. That winner will get $100 sent to them via PayPal or Cash App or whatever. We'll send you $100. So, with that being said, we're going to get out of here, and we will see you all again tomorrow morning.
Have a good morning.
Have a good one. I ain't got no interest in it.